So this is an all-time low for me. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name's Holly. Before I start this video, I just want you guys to know that I understand how horrific my hair looks right now, but I couldn't be bothered to brush my hair. So I'm gonna do my face first and hopefully disguise it with this headband first. My forehead is out to play. It is not hiding anywhere. Perfect. This could be a great before and after. Oh my god. So for today's video, I thought I'd show you guys some of my newest products. Some of the products include Huda Beauty, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, Glossier, and a few others as well. So I just thought I'm going to show you guys some of these products because they're actually some of my favourites already. And yeah, definitely need to sort this face out. I'll deal with the hair later. I've already moisturised my face. I'm really into like skincare and everything like that lately. So I've put some moisturiser on. I have got a lot of marks from like old spots, but I might do a video on what I'm doing at the moment to sort of help with those. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that. Even though I've got moisturiser on, I like to prime my face always, just because I like it to be nice and dewy before I apply my foundation. So I'm going to use the Smashbox Primer Oil and do the whole Instagram thing. And I'm just stippling that in with my Zoeva 125 stippling brush. Always make sure you go down the sides of your nose as well. I need a lot on this big ass forehead. Make sure I put some down my neck as well. So one of the newest products, which is one of my favourites, I feel like they're all my favourites, but I really love this one, is the Glossier Brow Flick, and it comes like this. Now this is the first Glossier product I've tried and I love it so much for my eyebrows. Because I have quite a bit through the front but nothing through here, it sort of sometimes looks a bit weird using just a pencil because I've got all these brow strokes here and then nothing throughout this area, and I do like to fill them in quite a bit. So what I've been doing is just combing my brow hairs upwards, like so. And the amazing thing with this is it actually creates individual hair strokes. So it's like a pen that's really, really fine. And I've got the shade Brown. You don't have to be too neat with this. I just sort of get the rough shape and start flicking up little hairs. It does take a little while to get used to this, but after a few goes, I sort of got my technique that I like. And then for the front of my brow, I just do light hair strokes going upwards. So once I've done both my brows, I go in with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Now I actually never used to use eyebrow gel ever because I thought I don't really need it, but it makes such a huge difference. So I got this in a little advent calendar set, so it's really cute. It sort of brings out your natural hairs even more. And I always usually get this sort of crazy area here, so it really helps to set that in place as well. So I always just brush them upwards, and then once they're set a little bit, I can sort of comb them down as well. And it gives it that nice sort of natural effect. So once the brows are done, we can relax and start with the face. Now I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I use the shade 01 Creamy Vanilla. Now this is sort of new, I got it a few weeks ago. I've only used it a couple times, but I'm really liking it at the moment. It comes in a little pump. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. I like taking a brush for foundations at the moment. This is the Peaches and Cream PC04 brush. So it's really, really fluffy and really good for applying foundations. So I take a little bit from the back of my hand, or a lot, and I'll just work it into the skin. The reason why I don't go in with a beauty blender as much anymore is because I feel like if you use a brush, you just get a lot more coverage. And then I like to go over it with a beauty blender just to sort of give that airbrushed feel as well. This brush is really nice because it doesn't give you streak marks, so you can really buff it into the skin Now it is a little bit yellowy for my skin tone, but I couldn't find like a perfect shade. That's the only thing I will say. I did struggle to find a really nice shade because some of them were a bit too light for me and a bit too pale, but we can make this work. I'm going to go in with a little bit more just to cover my blemishes through here. It's quite a thick consistency, so it does have quite a nice coverage. It's nothing too crazy, but it definitely gets the job done. So now I like to go in with my damp beauty blender and I'll just press over my foundation. I feel like this makes such a difference. Now I'm going to go in with my Collection Lasting Perfection concealer. It is so cheap and so good. I literally saw so many people start using this and I was like, I really have to try this out. So I'm just going to brighten my under eye. I always struggle with this line here because my eyes are quite deep set, so I don't know if some of you have the same problem. It sort of gives you a bit of that cheek bunch area and then you always get this line, but as long as you conceal it and set it, it really helps to get rid of that problem area. So I'm going to brighten my inner corner through here because I do get quite dark through there. And take it down the sides of my nose. This is like a reverse contour. Let's highlight this big ass forehead. Why not? I've got it for a reason. And then top of my lip, my chin, and especially this time of year I like to go around the sides of my nose because they go a little bit red. Okie dokie. I'm dying over here. So I'm going to take my beauty blender again and look upwards. And just focus on pressing in the product, and then I'm going to blend it out as well. When I'm doing my makeup, I normally like to do my eyeshadow first. It sort of depends on what eye look I do. So if I'm not doing anything crazy, or I know I'm using a palette that hasn't got a lot of fallout, then I'll do my base makeup first, just because it's easier for me to kind of highlight this area here with my sponge. So do whatever's best for you, but sometimes I sort of alter my technique depending on what look I'm creating. So now I've highlighted my face using the concealer, I'm going to go in with another cream product. It's the Huda Beauty Tantour, which I've been dying to use. I've been trying to get my hands on a really good contour, and I know these are quite easy to blend out. So this is the shade Fair. I might not be using the right brush for this, but I've lost my dense brush, but I'm going to use this one. It's sort of dense and fluffy, and I'm just going to pack some on. It looks like this. So I'm just going to lightly build it up and go in the hollows of my cheeks. My house makes really strange noises. There's something clicking in the corner, but I'm just going to ignore it. So I'm going to apply it with this brush, and then I think I'll blend it out with my beauty blender. Okay, so my contouring is definitely wider than what I normally do it, but that is my fault because I lost my brush. Now for my nose, I want to take this small little dense brush and take some of that contour shade, and I like to start just at the top of my eyebrows, pull it down, and then go underneath. So I want to take another beauty blender and start blending the contour upwards. So you never want to go downwards, so you want to keep it nice and lifted. Okay, now I'm going to just pinch my beauty blender and start blending my nose contour. I'm never really too neat with this because I always go back in with my sponge that I use my concealer with. So that's most of it blended. Then I go back with my other sponge and it's got some excess concealer on it, and then I'll just run it down the sides a little bit. I love We're looking a lot better. Another step that I like to do when I'm really feeling like making an effort is just do a line underneath my contour. So just sort of clean it up a little bit. And then I'll just lightly blend it. So it sort of just tidies up my contour a little bit. You don't want to create like a really harsh line, but sometimes when you are blending out your cream contour, it does sort of go down a little bit, but you want to lift it up. So you want to lift up those cheekbones. So now all my cream products are done, I'm going to set them into place, and under my eyes I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to take my beauty blender and just lightly set my under eyes. I like to do the sides of my nose as well. Okay, I'm just going to leave that before brushing it off. Okay, now for this next step, I'm going to be using the brand new Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Luminous Powder called Brighten Up. So it comes in a box like this, and I've been so excited for this because I was going to get it and then I ended up getting it for my birthday or Christmas. Best girlfriend in the world. But yeah, I had my eyes on this and I could not wait to use it because I've always struggled with powders, and the only one that I've really liked is the Laura Mercier powder. I like to look glowy and I don't like things to go too cakey, so I really do love this powder. But the reason why I was really intrigued with this one is because I think it sort of sets everything in place but gives you that nice sort of glow as well. So I have used this on its own on my under eye area and all over my face, but today I thought I'd just set my under eye and then I'll use this all over as well. So the packaging is so cute and it comes like this. I think they've got quite a few different shades, so I'm just going to tip a little bit in the lid. Sometimes you just have to smack its bum. So this is what the shade looks like. I think my lights are reflecting a bit too much. So I want to go in with this Primark fluffy brush, and what I like to do is just swirl the product all over nice and evenly and then just tap off the excess. And then I'll just go in and set all of my face with this, even over my cream contour, just slightly. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it sort of gives you that natural finish without it looking too matte, so you can still see the glow on my head, but when I use my Laura Mercier powder it goes really matte, and then I have to use sort of like setting sprays, like glowy ones, just to sort of brighten up my skin as well, which I'll still probably do with this just to sort of intensify it even more. But I am really impressed with this powder. Thumbs up from me. As always, before doing my eyeshadow, I use my P. Louise base. This is in the shade Rumour. I always put some on the back of my hand. And I'm just taking this concealer brush from Primark and packing the product on both sides. And I'm still gonna carve out my brows. And then I just press it all over my lid as well with this brush. And then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just press that in. So another product that I got was the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette, and inside, if I can get it open, it looks like this. Oh my god, it is insane. So the first shade I'm going to take, there's too many shades to choose from because they're all so nice, but I think the first shade I'm going to use is this shade here, which is called Off Balance. So I'm taking a fluffy brush, it's slightly angled, so it's really good for getting into your crease. I'm just going to apply that. I've never actually used a Huda Beauty palette before. I don't know why, but I just haven't. But one thing that I have noticed is you get minimal fallout with these. Like, I haven't experienced any fallout. Maybe like the teeniest bit when I've used this shade here, but I feel like they're really creamy and really easy to blend out as well. So Huda did that. You go, girl. I'm just putting that all in my crease. I'm gonna wing it out a little bit. And then for the next shade, I'm going to use Libra, which is this sort of lilac-y pastel colour here. And I'm taking that on my fluffy Morphe blending brush. I'm just going to blend out the first shadow. As usual, I like to go in again with the same steps. So this will just get maximum payoff with your pigments and really get those shadows to stand out. Okay, I think I'm going to take that first shade off balance and just pack it on my outer corner here as well. I'm just going to gently sweep across my eyelid with the excess. I'm going to go in with my finger and apply this shade Cosmic and just press that on my lid. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh my god, I love it. So sometimes I like to wet my brush when applying foiled shadows. Just gives them a little bit more oomph. Yeah, it definitely helps. It's quite a good technique just to make it more shimmery. Now I'm going to take the shade Supermoon. It's really hard to see, but look at it. Take that on my brush and apply it. Oh my god, look at it. I'm obsessed. I'm just going to go for it really. I think I'm just going to apply that on top. I really love simple eye looks at the moment, but I can't ignore this shade here, which is called Haze. And I think I'm going to put that on my lower lash line, just to spice it up a little bit. I'm really getting sort of like 90s vibes or something with this. I don't know if it's the headband or... I'm loving it. I'm just going back in with the first shade and just connecting the edges. So I still want that to blend nicely. I'm just going to take this tiny little brush and go in with the shade Vortex and just deepen up my lash line a little bit. Sometimes you just need a little bit of depth, you know? So I'm going to use my e.l.f. 3-in-1 mascara. I don't know how it can be 3-in-1, but who am I to judge? I'm not really that bothered about mascaras, to be honest, because my eyelashes are so teeny weeny. I tend to use strip lashes anyway. This is the eye almost done. I just need to apply some lashes, and I'm going to put some pink in my waterline. So I'm just going to take my sponge. So now both my eyes are done. I put some lashes on as well. These are the Unicorn Cosmetics Honeybee lashes. I love them so much. I just feel like lashes really complete an eye look. Pretty. For the next step, I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty bronzer. This is in the shade Private Island. I love it. And I'm just going to accentuate my contour and warm up my face as well. So I always do this step once I've used my cream contour. It just sort of brings it to life again once you've set it into place. Much better. And then I'm just going to put a tiny little bit down the sides of my nose. The next product that I got, which is literally insane, is the Jaclyn Hill Loose Highlighter. So this one that I used before is the subtle one to sort of set your face and create that sort of glow all over. And this one is like, you can see me from the universe sort of highlighter. So it comes in the same cute little packaging as the other one, but obviously slightly smaller because it's quite intense. You don't need much of this at all. I've just put that much. That's probably too much, to be honest. And I'm going to use a little fluffy blending brush. I'm just going to swirl my brush and tap off the excess. And I'm going to hit it right at the high points of my cheekbones. This is so amazing. I love it. Oh my goodness. don't know if you guys can hear that clicking, but it's so weird. And I like to just put some around my temples as well. Just gonna put some down the bridge of my nose. And then just the tip. And then I'll always do some on my Cupid's bow. Yeah, I can't not use this on my brow bone and my inner corner. I'm going to use my favourite blusher, and it's the H&B Cosmetics Dare to Be Different Feeling Peachy Blusher. Now, this is so pigmented, so you really don't need a lot. I just realised I did my highlights before blush. I think it's because I was excited. I'm going to put a little bit. Or a lot. Okay, I definitely look like someone, I don't even know what era it is. It's in the 80s, with like the headband and like the funky makeup. I'm actually living for it, I love it. So for lips, I'm going to use this liquid lip by H&B Cosmetics, which is in the shade Living. I'm feeling a little bit of a gloss to go with this look, so I'm going to use the H&B Cosmetics gloss in the shade Stop It as well. Their lip products are so good, like their glosses aren't crazy sticky, like they're nice and smooth and really moisturising. And as well, their matte liquid lip products aren't really drying. Sometimes I find it's quite difficult to get a matte lip that isn't really crusty, if that makes sense. That sounds disgusting, but yeah. So I just went off camera quickly and sorted out my hair because it was a complete state. I thought I'd just share with you guys some of my newest products and some of my favourites. But I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.